Hi. How's everyone doing? My name's Bubblesdelfuego, and this is Fallout the 4th. Since there's a lot of intro, I'm just gonna get the run started, so I can explain a lot. And there will be a lot to explain. This is a very new route, and there's something being added to the route today that I just practiced for as much time as I could, for about 5-10 minutes, and I couldn't get it. But there's kind of like a speed cripple in Fallout 4 now, and when the run is done, I'll show a YouTube clip of it, because it's funny, but I wasn't able to pull it off in time. But it's still funny. I want you guys to all see it. Okay, Chip. I'm gonna count you down here, and in 3, 2, 1, go.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Merci, Cotsworth.
Bien sûr, monsieur.
So, Fallout 4, you start before the cryo chamber and stuff, before the actual aftermath section. And so, all you can do right now is just walk and jump and interact. And so the way to skip dialogue with these people is when they start talking, you can talk to them like this.
Cotsworth. Hey, Trésor?
And then when you talk to them, it'll finish their current dialogue. And basically it's just a bunch of lines of flags being sent. So like, Codsworth finishes talking, and then Nora will talk. And then when Nora is finishing talking, a countdown timer will happen for this Vault Man guy to start walking over here. And so you just want everything to finish as soon as possible. And I'm going to put on... Oh, I'm also playing in French, because French is, I believe... I'm not sure how to compare it to the current route, but it's about, I would say, 11 seconds faster than English. Playing on version 1.1.3, and the world record is 41:41 by Tomato Anus. I have second place with 41:54, but there's like a new route, so record probably won't be broken for a while until I get good at that. So, all my points into endurance and agility. Oh, heck.
Mon Ah, ce que je ne ferai pas pour
Thought I did that. So, endurance and agility.
N'est-ce pas? Hey, Cotsworth.
Ne vous occupez pas de la vaisselle. C'est mon travail.
Tu as entendu Cotsworth? Allez, allez.
Alright.
Alors, comment vont mes hommes préférés? Fais tourner un peu de mode.
Yes, the record holder's name is Tomato Anus. So I put, just endurance and agility, so I can sprint longer and, for as much as possible.
Bonne idée.
Ability determines how long your AP bar is in the bottom right, which you'll see later when I can sprint. You'll see it in about like 30 seconds or so. And endurance determines how much of it gets used when I'm sprinting, or like, it also determines my size of my health bar and stuff.
Non.
Hi everybody in chat. I'll talk to chat. I'll fucking talk to you guys. What's up, dudes? You guys know this game. You guys know the start's a little slow. I switched from third to first person there real quickly just to like... It's more like a way to fix a bugged frame rate problem that can happen there with like making your character jump not very high.
C'est absurde. C'est moi, Voltaire. Vous ne rentrez pas. Si, je rentre. Vous ne m'arrêtez.
Laissez-nous entrer. On est sur la liste. Laissez-nous entrer. On est sur la liste. Laissez-nous entrer.
Alright.
Bonne chance.
So, when you finish your dialogue, you can spam E, and if you time it correctly, and if the guard is like not locked up, you can skip his line of dialogue before he even starts it. There's a very small window. Typically his dialogue isn't skippable.
On y est presque. Tout ira bien. Je vous aime. Tous les deux.
On t'aime aussi.
Accroche-toi.
On peut pas aller plus vite.
Alright. Oh, and I put the rest of my stat points into intelligence, and that warrants how much experience you get whenever you do a quest, like discovering something, or killing an enemy, or finishing a quest. You know.
Sortez tous de l'ascenseur et montez les escaliers. En ordre, s'il vous plaît.
Inutile de s'alarmer. Vous allez tous intégrer vos nouveaux logements. Bienvenue dans la
Why is the game in
maison.
Spanish? It's not.
Un avenir meilleur sous terre.
Donc là, on doit... Montez l'escalier. Ouais.
So, I'm going to be doing a new route, and it's a lot of new muscle memory for me, so it might be hard to focus on everything that I'm doing. Basically, right here, all there is to do when we entering Vault 111 is just going in that straight line, jumping over that railing, getting the suit, you know, the usual. Just I don't have to explain speed like that. But I'm going to skip the doctor's dialogue. Also, it's a strat to stay in first person, because if you go in third person, I don't remember the percentage difference, but you are much slower when you're moving in third person in this game.
Pardon.
Entrez dans la capsule
Ouais.
quand vous voulez. Avant de pouvoir aller plus loin, vous devez être décontaminé et dépressurisé.
C'est une nouvelle vie qui commence.
I have a sexy voice. I'll make sure to follow my channel.
Fonction vitale de l'occupant, normale. Procédure terminée. Dans 5, 4,
33% slower in third. I guess all those threes would help me remember. You guys can follow ShotX too for his sexy everything else. Or like Tolly and Lannister. I don't know. Can I explain what this event is? Just read the About section. I'm going to read that right now. Shots Fired is a semi-annual speedrunning marathon exclusively for shooting games, featuring first-person shooters, third-person shooters, 2D shooters, and more unorthodox shooters. Shots Fired has something for all action lovers. Joke's on you, I did hydrophobia and didn't shoot a single gun. Where will the new tech be? All over the place. I'm not using the glitch that was discovered today because I wasn't able to do it at all. If I had like another 10 minutes of practice, I might have been able to find a spot to do it. It's basically a glitch where you do like speed cripple setup from Fallout 3 or New Vegas or whatever, but you do it with your head instead, so you skip all your dialogue because your character can't talk if he doesn't have a head. So he skips... I don't know. I'll show you guys after the run with a YouTube video or something. Alright, so I'm going to do some clips. Okay, I want this police baton because I have to set up a glitch called a punch warp. Every time you pick up that gun, it automatically makes you not be able to run because you have the pulling out the gun animation. But every time you go into a terminal, it puts away your weapon. So if you quickly grab it and then go into the terminal, you never have to do that. So I'm going to set up the punch warp by... Yeah. It's really hard to do it here sometimes. There we go. Please. Alright. And then I'm going to set up a cover slide. So, one thing at a time here. I'm skipping the Pip-Boy, and I'm not even coming into this room at all. Well, the traditional way. I'm clearly in this room. But, yeah, we're gonna get a Pip-Boy by entering and exiting, I just hit my split key. How are we actually getting the Pip-Boy? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, by going into the main menu and coming back out. We're gonna get it when we do the thing in the sewers. It's okay, yeah, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so I set up a punch warp, which I'll explain in a bit, but first off I should explain a cover slide. I'll have to quick save right here, in case I die. Oh boy, my favorite. No progress at all. Anyway, I guess I'll have plenty of time to explain everything. So, that cover slide, first off, when I was inside the vault, I went around corner cover with my gun, and then canceled it by going into third person. You can cancel it in a lot of ways, it's just easiest with third person. And, then, so the next time that I'm in first person and I pull my gun out, I'm going to go to those coordinates. And so if I leave that map and I go to a different map, like I left Vault 111 and now I'm in the overworld, I'm gonna go to those coordinates again. But since this is a much bigger map, those coordinates are going to be a lot more closer to the center, which is like around Green Tech Genetics. Alright, so the same thing works with the punch warp. I need more AP. Alright, so the punch warp's the same idea, but it's more like a teleport instead of a slide. So I discovered Museum of Freedom, and then I triggered my melee in VATS that I did earlier against the Radroach. I made it finish. So this time I'm actually going to the coordinates where it expected me to go originally. And I still don't have a Pip-Boy. I can actually show you guys my, like, arm. It's pretty cool. But I'm gonna get one if you quit out and go to the main menu. So now I have my Pip-Boy now. But I mostly did that because that just sent me out of bounds. So if you're in an indoor map, and you're in water, and you save your game, go to the menu, and then reload that save file, you will be on the top of the water. And since the top of the water is out of bounds, you are out of bounds as well. And I rubbed up against that pipe in there, which gave me, like, one of the last quests of the game. Which means that Sturges, who's a member of the Minutemen, will now have a relay device in his pocket that I could pickpocket from him. So I'm basically going straight to shopping first, Good Neighbor, the shopping district area, because there is the Destroyer's left leg in there, and it helps out with movement a lot. Okay, that Yaogoi was too close to me. He can cripple in like one hit. And I'll level up really soon, so I don't need to worry about healing. Okay. I made sure to get that landmine because you can target landmines in VATS, and it lets you do punch warps later on.
Pas si vite. Oh,
Pardon.
Okay, so I'm gonna do some like inventory underflow and sell stuff back to her to like try to trick her that I'm rich or something. I don't know. Just got a lot of money. Bourbon. Ugh, it sucks. I don't have any jet or a biometric scanner. Well, at least I didn't get noticed. Okay. Okay. Let's just focus on Fallout 4, guys. So once I discover the Boston Commons area, leveled up a little early, it's not a big deal, but now I can go into the menu and equip all these things properly. Okay. And then fast travel to Museum of Freedom, because before I run all the way down to the Glowing Sea or to Diamond City or anything like that to progress, I want to have enough level ups to get solar powered and Action Boy. Oh, heck. So I skipped that thing down there.
Je ne sais pas qui vous êtes, mais vous faites gaffe.
So that was really good. I got good RNG there. Setting up another cover slide, and I just cleared the Museum of Freedom. And now I'm getting the power armor and heading over to Lexington to do a quest that you can only do for the railroad, because I'm going to do railroad stuff. So I triggered the the cover slide. And now I'm fast traveling to Lexington from Lexington, and then immediately getting out of my power armor and running down. So next time I need my power armor, I can just fast travel and it'll be right in the location where I'm supposed to be. Alright, so now I need my melee weapon out and my landmines again. So this is a quest that is for later on in the run. I should heal up.
Et voilà.
Get the mini nuke. And I have to drop the prototype. And then we just punch warp back up to the top. Could load warp, but that's a lot harder. And it's just as fast. Okay. So now that I did switchboard, got the prototype, dropped the prototype, and then I left the building. A lot of progress within the railroad questline is all done now. I need to switch over to my pistol because I still haven't gotten a biometric scanner. So I'm going to have to farm one off of this guy. So I have to keep killing this turret until he gets me one. And now I got a military grade circuit board as well, so I can go a little bit faster in Kellogg's area. Because that's where we typically get that one as well. Wouldn't save anything more than a second. Alright, so now we're in the Old North Church. And if you didn't know, in the bottom is the railroad and how to join them. And you have to solve like a really long, stupid puzzle for it. But if you go out of bounds, the place where it resets you is right in front of them. So that's really convenient.
Quoi? Je n'ai pas cherché à vous.
So we're going to skip all their dialogue. And
Arrêtez.
in the process, we allow ourselves to be able to talk to Deacon about the quest that we just did. And then it lets us join the railroad.
De l'esclavage.
Exact. J'ai une question.
J'ai fait le serment de protéger mes compatriotes.
Bien dit.
Ok.
On a ce qu'on voulait. On va se séparer. On se retrouvera dans les catacombes.
On fait une bonne équipe.
La meilleure.
I hate that so much.
Il m'a jeté sur son épaule.
So, it's kind of a hard shot to hit, but you could skip his dialogue and save like another 2 seconds
C'est un
there.
plaisir de vous rejoindre.
Visiblement.
Appelez-moi...
Ouais. Votre pro...
I hit Q on accident. Okay, so this might look weird, but it's all about like manipulating a cycle here. So, leveling up. Fast travel to Lexington. Fast travel back to Railroad. This skips Dez coming into the room. So now Dez is in the room. And just progressing normal stuff for the rest of the game is going to skip all of her dialogue that she's doing in this room right now. If we didn't do that, fast travel back, then Dez would take a long time to speak when we came back. And also, we fast traveled to Lexington and not somewhere closer, because now it's daytime. And the perk that we just got, called Solar Powered, gives us 2 more endurance, so when we sprint during the day, it will give us more time to run. So, I don't even know what I got in there. I think that was a grenade. I'll figure it out eventually. So I gotta level up during the running here, so I won't run out of AP before I get to this cone that I need to clip with. A lot of stuff is happening at once, but I can kind of calm down and explain a few things on the run to the glowing sea here. But I'm still gonna have to talk kind of quickly. Oh, come on. Oh, I hate it when that happens so much. Because you guys are gonna see exactly like how close the exact other thing that I have to do is. Like that. It's the same thing, but I just have to go slightly in a different direction. Yeah, that's an FAQ that was just posted in the chat if anyone didn't pay attention or was too late or had the stream muted or something. Or maybe there's some stuff I still haven't explained yet. But the stuff that I got when I was shopping was the Fat Man, the Destroyer's left leg, which helps you move faster. Just increases movement speed. I got some bourbon, so I can drink it right there. And it increases my endurance by 1, so that's nice. So yeah. Oh, I just clipped into Diamond City, and that advances the storyline for Nick Valentine a little bit, and also it's faster than running all the way around Diamond City. So this run is basically get to the Institute as fast as possible, because a skip for the second half of the game was already found by Dr. T-Chops about like 1 month or about 1 or 2 months into the game's release initially. So it's pretty bonkers and cool. And the route has developed so much since then. It's still developing like to this day. Hopefully I don't die from this guy. I'll quick save just in case he does something funny. So in the beginning of the game, we have to kill Kellogg and get his brain chip, and then get Nick Valentine, rescue him from Park Street Station, and then with the brain chip and Nick Valentine, we can go through a long cutscene in the memories, and that spawns Virgil inside of his cave. And then Virgil tells us that we need to kill a Courser and get the Courser chip, and then using the Courser chip we can teleport to the Institute. And we have to use one of the factions like Brotherhood of Steel, Minutemen, or Railroad to get into the Institute. So we're going to use the Railroad. Luckily I have Sanctuary discovered, so that'll just make it easier at the end. And so, yeah, I'm running down to the glowing scene now, even though Virgil isn't there, because I'm going to set up another cover slide there, and the cover slide is where I have that pistol around the corner. So I'm gonna make the game remember the coordinates that I'm supposed to, like, slide towards. Like, I'm gonna go behind cover behind a rock and store the coordinates of me being there. So the animation of me sliding towards that cover is going to be stored. And so I'm going to get my power armor at Lexington, and then fast travel up to Vault 111, and then slide south. And the place that's south in between Virgil's cave, which is over here, and Vault 111, is Fort Hagen, where Kellogg is, and that's the guy I need to kill to get his brain chip. It'll all happen by pretty fast, but one of the slowest parts of the run is just this part. So yeah, I'm just going through here. I got my Radaway and my stim packs. That's one of the things I also wanted to buy from the store. And I really was kind of not happy at the store because they didn't have Jet or a biometric scanner. I mentioned those two things as well. So Jet is for a trick at the way end of the game where you need to jump really far, and you'll jump further when you have Jet active. And besides that, the biometric scanner. You need the biometric scanner and the military grade circuit board to complete the teleporter towards the end of the game. So I set up the cover slide. You guys saw me do that. And I also got a whatchamacallit, Fat Man mini nuke. That's for killing Kellogg and killing the Courser. Because the only things that you really need to kill in this game are Kellogg, the Courser, and the enemies inside of the Museum of Freedom. So most of the shooting's done. There's also a lot of shooting that needs to happen in this game for the sake of, like, skipping dialogue, and you'll still see that later on. Alright. Oh, the estimate on this is an hour? Jesus, okay. I'd have to play, like, pretty well. Which, you know. What else can you expect? So, I'm gonna go in third person, pull out my gun, and press tab multiple times. And this will cover slide me to be near Fort Hagen, unless it like loads me weird and puts me on the ground. It did, but I should still be okay. Hopefully, okay, now I'm underneath the earth, which is not bad. It's actually pretty good. I'll just get out here. This is fine. I'm not gonna, you know, get greedy. Please exit the power armor. Okay. So it wasn't a good slide, but you guys can see the deal here. I'm much further south than I'm near Fort Hagen. Oh, that's rude. Come on. Oh my gosh. This is one of the easiest clips. There we go. That was weird. So I'm going through Fort Hagen backwards by doing that clip. It lets you just take the elevator straight through a garage, apparently. Hi, Kellogg. Bye, Kellogg. So I quick saved my game after going into his terminal and getting the quest. And I'm loading a save file from earlier on. And then as I went through the loading zone of this save file, I hit quick load. And so the character that I am quick loading, which was near Kellogg's terminal, is actually going to be outside of the save file that I just loaded. It's called a load warp. Where am I going? I'm going here. Almost messed that up. It's a new route, so I've got to like remember a bunch of new stuff. I'm actually not going here yet. I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing, but I mean, like, I made a mistake. First, I have to set up a punch warp at Green Tech Genetics. Alright, so to explain punch warping again, I've got my melee weapon selected, my security baton or whatever. And then I'm going to throw a landmine, target it with VATS to attack it, and before I can actually attack it, I cancel it, so the animation of me warping slightly over to melee that thing in VATS is now stored. And so the next time that I melee something in VATS, it will teleport me to those coordinates. And so since I did it in the outer map near Green Tech Genetics, which is near the origin point of the map, I can do it in this building and punch warp myself next to the door where I'm supposed to be. And I'll try to equip a grenade that I got. to make things easier because I don't want to get rid of my landmines. It's Nick.
Votre fils.
I was worried it was going to soft lock because I did a fast travel on accident.
Il faut que je trouve
But
un
it
moyen.
worked.
C'est tout à fait. Kellogg.
C'est vrai.
Ouais.
Il est mort, Nick.
Se fait éclater la... Bien.
Bien. J'espère que vous...
Voyons.
Ok. En fait, je crois que j'ai...
Moi,
Je n'ai pas besoin de compagnie.
d'accord. On se retrouve.
Alright. I'm going to do the load warp thing again. I just quick saved after talking to Nick. And so, as I'm leaving this loading zone, I'm hitting quick load. And the character that I'm quick loading is going to be on the other side of this loading zone. That's just what it is. So, that's where Nick's always going to be, in Park Street Station. I just did some like warping and out of bounds to get to him faster. But, since I already went to Diamond City and I killed Kellogg... Oh my god, I went to the wrong spot. Since I went to Diamond City and I went to Kellogg, he's already mentally, or like, I guess, like his AI is past that part in the quest line, so he's just like, oh man, we gotta find your son, we gotta find Kellogg, and you're like, I already found Kellogg. He's like, well, we've gotta like go to the memory den to try to figure out where your son could be based on his memories or something. So you can skip so much stuff, like a whole detective mission with the dog, and like going to Kellogg's house, and a bunch of stuff. It's great.
Monsieur Valentine.
Docteur Amari.
Excusez-moi.
Alright, so I'm going to do a bunch of stuff just to save a little bit of time with Dr. Amari.
Je sais qu'on demande un peu.
So first off, just like positioning myself to skip both their dialogues as fast as I can.
Voilà ce que j'ai pu récupérer.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Ok. Continuez, docteur.
Monsieur Valentine. Mais
Merci beaucoup, Nick.
Vous me remettez.
c'est quand vous voulez, Monsieur Valentine.
Comment ça, fracasser comme un vieux mercenaire.
Then setting up a punch warp in Dr. Amari's room. Getting Jet because I didn't get it earlier, so I have to get it there. Leaving when she says continue, and then when you enter in, she's ready to be spoken to again. She's currently like talking to Nick, so like you have to wait a second. And then once I come back in, I trigger the punch warp by just meleeing the closest thing next to me, which is Deacon inside of that little chamber.
Bien. D'accord.
And then I skip
De l'autre côté.
Dr. Amari's dialogue
Il y a plus de jugeote.
by shooting her, putting my gun away so she's not hostile anymore, and then sitting in the chamber. And so about like a 25-minute cutscene where she like talks to me, or it's like 20 seconds, not 25 minutes. Like 20-second cutscene where she talks to you is completely skipped because she can't talk when she's on the ground. Just remember that if there's someone that's talking and you don't want them to talk, just put them on the ground.
Je vais essayer de vous connecter aux souvenirs intacts en espérant que l'un d'entre eux puisse nous indiquer où trouver l'institut. Voilà. C'est le souvenir intact le plus ancien que j'ai pu trouver.
Alright, so this is the memory den. The only thing that we can do to make this faster is having on armor that makes you move faster. Even though we're playing technically as Kellogg right here, like I can't go in third person right now, but you're playing as Kellogg inside of your own head, and you're going over your own memories. And at the end, I realize there's a memory where I'm like, oh, I'm playing with Sean, my son, the one who was kidnapped in the beginning, because that's the plot of this game. You're trying to rescue your son or something, and then like you realize your son is like super old now and running the evil station of the world. So you want to, you revolt and stuff.
Monsieur Kellogg, chauffe. L'un de ceux-ci aura forcément quelque chose à nous dire. Il ne reste pas grand-chose. En voilà un qui semble être en bon état. Je vous connecte.
And besides wearing armor that makes you move faster, you can Sean has to walk from like here to here at some point, and you can jump on his head to make him move a little faster. It can save like up to 2 seconds if you're so great.
C'est une bonne nouvelle, je dirais.
But this is the place where French saves the most time in the run. It saves like a lot of time just in this section alone.
C'est bon. Un jour, quelqu'un va te faire sauter la cervelle si tu continues de débarquer sans prévenir.
Je suis censé limiter mon contact avec les civils au maximum.
Oublie ce que j'ai dit. Alors, quel est le problème urgent cette fois?
J'ai de nouveaux ordres pour toi. L'un de nos scientifiques a quitté l'Institut.
Quitté? C'est-à-dire?
C'est un traître. Il s'agit du docteur Brian Virgil. On sait qu'il se cache quelque part dans la mer d'une naissante. Voilà son dossier.
Merde, il y a des têtes qui vont tomber. Je le capture et le ramène ou je l'élimine?
Il faut l'éliminer. Il travaillait sur un projet classé top secret.
Sans blague.
So Sean's the only character that you can push around like this by falling.
Bon, je suppose que tu vas ramener le gamin.
Affirmatif. Ta seule mission est de trouver Virgile et de l'éliminer.
Vous allez me ramener chez mon papa?
I'm not sure if this will be under an hour real time, but I think it will.
D'accord.
So after this, you know, Dr. Amari's going to try to talk to you, and you can run outside the building and fast travel away. But if you shoot her, and then load warp away, it's faster. So that's what I'm going to do. I didn't jump on his head. Sorry.
J'espère qu'on se reverra un jour.
Salut.
Salut.
Il se téléporte. Je comprends mieux. Personne n'a jamais trouvé l'entrée de l'Institut parce qu'il n'y a pas d'entrée. Je vais vous faire sortir de là. C'est quand vous voulez.
Alright. So the big cutscene in the game is done now. Pure, high-octane gameplay. Thrills and chills until the end.
Allez-y tout de suite, d'accord? Je ne sais pas.
Alright. And now we have to go talk to Virgil because we finally left the memory den. And since we were in the glowing sea earlier, I made a save file outside of his cave. So I can just quick save after shooting Dr. Amari. Load the save file that's outside of the glowing sea, Virgil's cave entrance. And then as I'm entering it, hitting quick save. So the character that I'm quick saving, I hit quick load when I'm entering the cave. So the character that I'm quick loading is the one that's going to enter the cave.
Bien, calmez-vous. Je ne mens pas. Je l'ai tué, mon frère. Je sais que vous en faisiez partie. Et que vous...
So I need to skip all of Virgil's dialogue now, which is kind of funny because all you just hear him go is
J'essaye de retrouver mon fils. Vous m'aidez et je vous rendrai l'appareil.
Très bien.
Ouais. Ils utilisent une...
Oh, little lockup. Little bit of a lockup. He might start his whole dialogue over. That sucks. Okay, good.
Ouais. Un bon paquet. Bien. D'accord. Dites-moi simplement. D'accord. C'est parti.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Level up. We don't need to level up anymore, though. But leveling up is nice because your health comes back and so does your AP. But now we gotta go kill a Courser because he was like, alright, so you saw a Courser in the memories? Alright, you need to go kill one and get his chip. And then you typically bring the chip back to Virgil and he's like, you've got to go get it decoded by one of these people. But we can just immediately go get it decoded without having to talk to Virgil. So this is a pretty crazy level. Lots of item climbing, a punch warp, some killing, it's nice. Lots of explosions, lots of shots fired.
Le chasseur est au premier. Tirez à vous. Et envoyez les renforts en entrée au corridor.
Alright, switching over to my grenades because I set up a punch warp down there. And so these elevators actually bind you between two different loading zones. So if I punch warp now, it's not going to send me over to where I was. It's going to send me to different coordinates, or the same coordinates, but in a different map. So I'm over here now. Killed the Courser. And load warping out. It's like a free fast travel. Load warping is. Okay, now that the Courser's dead, and I have his chip, and I've already completed a quest line by getting the prototype thing in Lexington, way earlier on in the run, I can just go to Railroad, and they'll just finish off everything for me. I'm just getting some materials for the teleporter.
Vérifiez toujours plusieurs fois.
J'ai un rapport qui ressemble plus à une BD de super-héros. Apparemment, il y a eu une sacrée...
Ouais, c'était moi. J'avais besoin d'une puce de chasseur.
Alright, and she takes a while to walk, so I'm just going to fast travel to the railroad.
Le moins pire étant la perte des données qui s'ensuit.
Salut Dez. T'as besoin de quelque chose?
Tom, on a une puce.
Non, sans blague. Je suis touché.
Vous avez décroché
Okay,
la table.
that skips their dialogue.
Donnez la puce.
You don't want to shoot them more than 3 times, though, or else it will actually make them aggro. So I talked to Des, told her I had a Courser chip. She gives it to Tom, and it happens all faster because I skipped their dialogue by shooting them. I leave and come back, which skips his dialogue even more. I just got the Courser chip, but I want this, and I want this, and now I can leave. And I'm going to Virgil's cave. I believe? Yeah, because that's... With the decoded Courser chip, he's like... Oh, so you, like, need to build a teleporter now. And I'm like, okay, I've got it covered.
Je me demandais si je vous reverrai un jour.
J'ai le code.
J'aurais dû m'en douter. Après, comment?
J'ai fait appel au réseau du rail.
The railroad helped me decode it.
Moi non.
Je sais que ça va marcher.
Attention.
Bien.
Vous en...
J'ai la situation bien en main.
Tant mieux. C'est ma seule.
And now I go back to the railroad, and they're like, we already decoded your chip. I guess we can just, like, help you build a teleporter, too. So now I need to find Des, and she talks about building a teleporter.
Vous avez besoin de quelque chose?
J'ai des plans pour fabriquer un intercepteur de signaux. L'Institut utilise un téléporteur pour entrer.
Ça... Comment l'Institut... Ah,
merde. Alors, vous allez me donner ces plans?
Tenez, voyons ce qu'il nous faut. Je savais que ça vous parlerait, Tom. Beau travail, Tom.
Okay.
Heureusement que... Ok.
And I just want to drop the biometric scanner and the circuit board before I fast travel to Sanctuary and start building the teleporter, because I don't want those items to be consumed when I build the other parts of the teleporter, and I will pick them up later. So, that platform, back to railroad, and then Tom's like, "Oh, you built the platform, now you can build the rest," and then he gives you the blueprints for the rest.
Alors, vous avez fini la plateforme?
Oui, c'est fait. La plateforme est terminée.
Au fait, la tech, cela dit, si vous mettez...
Okay, so now I'm going to build the rest of the teleporter with all the parts that I've gotten throughout the run. If this would like to appear... Oh, I didn't pick up the... That's my bad. I need to go back and pick up the pieces off the ground. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the new muscle memory of this route. Alright, resumed. Now I gotta connect them all together.
Dire que tous dans ces... Quelle est la situation?
Il y a du signal d'aise, mais je sais pas quand il sera optimal.
L'Institut, c'est ce que je...
Ok, j'aime bien ça.
So skip through all the dialogue, and then just before my crosshair disappears, I'm gonna fast travel somewhere,
Vous y arriverez.
and that'll skip like
Tom,
right there. And now my crosshair disappeared right after I fast traveled, and so since I'm hitting a loading screen right now, it's just going to trigger the fact that I am teleporting to the Institute. And since I have the chip that I pickpocketed from Sturgis earlier, I can immediately get the Minutemen to come in here now. And this skipped the entire second half of the game.
Alors c'est ça l'Institut.
Il se croit supérieur.
Ils auraient dû s'intéresser. Vous aurez besoin.
I get the bomb, and I set up the final punch warp. Make a save here for a load warp later. Come on. There we go. I need to actually equip my jet. And I need to use my jet, jump midair out of bounds, and then grab a door as I'm falling. There we go. Easy every time. Oh, and by the way, that chair that I just went out of bounds with, that still works if you want to load up Fallout 4. If you've got like an extra hour on your hands to like start the game. And now setting up the punch warp sends me to these coordinates. And I'm load warping out, and I need to go back to the railroad to get Desdemona to come here. Alright. Shout out to everybody watching. Hope you guys are all having a good time. Okay. Quick save. I shot Des until she was angry. And then when she was angry, she teleports to the Institute. And as long as you put your gun away real quick, everybody here isn't mad at you, so now you can fast travel places. So Des gets here, and now I fast travel back to the railroad, because Des needs you to go talk to Tinker Tom, but you can't leave, so you have to just fast travel or load warp there. And now I'm gonna go talk to Tom, and I'm gonna let him know that it's time for him to start blowing up the place.
C'est bon, Tom. Téléportez-nous.
So I'm like, okay, everyone's ready, go light the charge. And so now I can I can't fast travel back to the Institute, so I have to do a load warp. I think I just got it first try. There's an extremely small frame window there if you hit quick load when that door's opening, similar to all the other ways that I've load warped. Yeah, I got it first try, so and so now I can step in the teleporter, and it's funny, the teleporter has it has Sturgis and Desdemona in it, like 2 completely different factions, because we're completing the game on both factions. And get ready on time. I'll let you know when it's going to happen. Should be like a 55 something. So yeah. Since we used the relay chip from the Minutemen, but we completed ourselves up to the teleporter with the Railroad, we were able to complete the game with both Railroad and Minutemen. And when the heads-up display goes away, that's when it's time. And Chip, you know what heads-up display is, so I trust you. And time. That's Fallout 4, and it probably made no sense to anybody. But it doesn't make sense to me either, so it doesn't matter.
The radiation.
We beat the game.
Fear. It's the end of the world all over again. I close my eyes. I see my life before all of this. Before the bombs. Everything can change in an instant, and the future you plan for yourself shifts, whether or not you're ready. At some point, it happens to all of us. This wasn't the world I wanted, but it was the one I found myself in. The Commonwealth.
What's up next? We got The Last of Us. That's pretty ironic, you know, the last game, The Last of Us, you know, it's fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. My name is Bubblesdelfuego. I had a good time playing Sniper Elite V2, Hydrophobia, and Fallout 4 for Shots Fired Overkill.
But now I know. I know I can't go back. I know the world has changed.
I'm just gonna put my vote in for calling the next Shots Fired, Shots Fired Bang Bang.
Because I know.
I think that one will go by nicely.
War never changes.